They lost all 3 children in a car crash, but 6 months later, an incredible miracle happened. Chris and Lori believed they would never be able to experience anything other than unending anguish and heartache as they endured the unbearable pain of losing their 3 beautiful children. But then something extraordinary happened. As the saying goes, every cloud has a silver lining. Finding the positive in a difficult circumstance is difficult to do, though. The Coble family experienced the same surprise as their lives abruptly flipped upside down. On May 4, 2007, Lori Coble was out with her 3 kids, ages 2 and under, Katie, Kyle, 5, Emma, 4, and her mother, Cindy. The Cobles were eager to continue in the same spirit of celebrating Kyle's birthday because they had done so the day before. They visited a mall where the children enjoyed the rides before visiting a pet store. When it was time to go home, the family piled into their minivan, with Lori behind the driving wheel. She chose to turn around to check on her children when her car was snarled in traffic. Lori tickled Katie's toes, who had begun to nod off when everything went dark. That's when a massive truck traveling at 70 miles per hour and weighing 40,000 pounds crashed into the van. In the horrific event, Lori and her kids suffered serious injuries. Cindy and Lori were transferred to one hospital, Katie and Kylie to another, and Emma to a third because of the severity of the trauma. The children's father and Lori's husband Chris Coble learned the tragic news while he was at work. His wife had already been hospitalized when he hurried to the hospital. The doctors soon informed him that Katie wouldn't survive. After a while, he got a call from the hospital where Emma was transported, and he learned that she couldn't make it. Chris was saddened and had had enough of the suffering. He immediately hurried to tell Lori about the tragic passing of their girls. After that, the couple went to check on their son Kyle. While they were happy to see his eyes open, the doctor informed them that his brain had not been receiving any oxygen and recommended turning off his life support because of this. Chris added, "She's getting out of the wheelchair as best she can to hug Kyle and tell him he's had to go be with his sisters now. His sisters are waiting for him." The 3 lovely beings who had brought purpose to the Coble family's life were taken from them in a matter of seconds. Chris and Lori were heartbroken to discover 3 little caskets instead of their 3 giggling and joyful children on the day of their burial. The parents were in a state of dismay and denial after losing their little bundles of joy. In the months that followed, I struggled with rage, sadness, loss, and numbness. Chris and Lori committed not to separate, though. Chris said, "At that moment, we always referred to ourselves as parents without children. When you have 3 little children, your entire life is devoted to them, and you adore them." Then the couple gave a chance to themselves. The couple chose to follow their calling to attempt to have more children out of a desire to feel parental bliss again. They used IVF, starting with 10 eggs, 3 of which fertilized successfully. The doctor advised them to go with just 2, but the pair insisted on inserting all 3. 6 months later, they found out they were expecting triplets, 2 girls and 1 boy, just like previously. Chris said, "Your mind can't even think differently," in reference to the pregnancy miracle. The Cobles welcomed Ashley, Ellie, and Jake into their family about a year after Kyle, Emma, and Katie passed away. Chris and Lori also think that they and their siblings are being protected by their heavenly angels. The parents revealed that they had maintained pictures of Kyle, Emma, and Katie throughout the house and that the triplets were aware that they had older siblings who were now in paradise. The Coble family has also spoken out in favor of changing the regulations governing the trucking business. Jorge Miguel Romero, the truck driver who caused the collision, admitted his guilt to 3 charges of vehicular fatality despite a history of speeding. Chris and Laurie frequently take their triplets on picnics at the graveyard. Even though they are delighted to have a house full of kids, they will always cherish the memories of Kyle, Emma, and Katie.